Hey, what's going on, Summoners? My name is Nathan Ng, and welcome back to another Pro Guides video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 10 strongest late game champions. These are the champions that make you feel like you're on a constant death timer, because as soon as they reach their late game power spike, the game is probably going to be over. Let's start off with one of the strongest late game champions there possibly is, Nasus. This overgrown puppy can spend the entire game farming up his stacks with his Q, and as the game goes on, his stacks only get higher and higher. Due to his infinite scaling potential, going versus Nasus can be extremely nerve-wracking because even if you do destroy him early, he'll still be able to farm for the late game. Nasus is just one of the champions that you have to try to end the game fast versus, or you'll go ahead and run into the unkillable tank, who is going to be bopping your allies in the head for massive amounts of damage. Overall, Nasus is somebody who can always deal quite a bit of damage, and it only grows in power as he infinitely gets stronger and stacks more and more tank items. But before we move on to the Nasus build, don't forget to check us out at ProGuides.com, where you can view our great catalog of coaches that can personally create a walkthrough to your dream rank. While you're there, be sure to go ahead and explore around and take a look at our amazing subscription service so you can always watch exclusive videos by Core JJ, Xsmithy, and more. Nonetheless, let's get back into the video and dive right into what you should be going if you decide to test out Nasus. Going into his build, be sure to take Flash and either Ghost or Teleport as your summoner spells. Ghost will allow you to chase down the enemy, especially later on into the game so you don't get kited. However, Teleport will give you a bit of an easier laning phase since you can make more mistakes and simply recall without missing any minions. And as for your runes, due to your weak early game, you'll be taking Fleet Footwork, Triumph, Legend Tenacity, Last Stand, Second Wind, and Unflinching. These runes will help you scale into a monster late game while also making sure that you're not easily poked out or stopped by CC. To give yourself more lane sustain, be sure to start the game with a health potion and Endurance shield. Afterwards, you're going to be building into Divine Sunderer, Lucidity Boots, Frozen Heart, Spare Visage, Thornmail, and your choice of Sterax or Gargoyles depending on how tanky you need to be. Next up, we got yet another infinite scaling champion, Veigar. Similar to Nasus, Veigar is able to farm up the entire game and infinitely grow in strength thanks to his Q, giving him additional AP every time he kills or damages an enemy. This means that eventually, Veigar is able to have so much AP that getting hit with even one ability is more than enough to send you straight to the gray screen. On the bright side, he's fairly immobile, except for his massive cage that you gotta walk around. Overall, if you love control mages and always want to be a threat to the enemy, test out farming minions and champions alike with Veigar. Just like Nasus, due to your amazing late game scaling, you'll be able to take Flash and Teleport as your summoner spells. This will help you keep your CS numbers and levels really high. As for your runes, you'll be taking Electrocute, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection, Ultimate Hunter, Mana Flow Band, and Transcendence. Sure, we did say Veigar is a scaling champion, but that doesn't mean that you can't look for kills with his powerful Electrocute rune page. To start off the game, be sure to pick up 2 health potions and a Doran's Ring. The rest of our build will consist of Everfrost, Sorcerer's Shoes, Zanyas, Rabadons, Void Staff, and then your choice of finishing Morellonomicon or picking up a Banshee's Veil. Dragging herself out of the mist, we got Senna. This powerful sentinel was created to be an offensive range AD support, and boy, Riot did get most of it right, unfortunately. Well, actually, unfortunately for you if you're going against her, but fortunately for you if you have her on your team. Not only does she offer quite a strong laning phase, but she's able to infinitely scale with her range, damage, and crit chance. This means that if the game does go long enough, she's going to be autoing you from an entire screen away. Sure, she's not the best at actually supporting her allies, but her ability to carry game through sheer power is more than enough support for me. Overall, whether you're an ADC or a support main, being able to farm up souls and scale with Senna is always a ton of fun. Unless, like I mentioned earlier, you're on the enemy team. For your summoner spells, you'll be taking Flash and either Barrier or Exhaust. Both of these summoner spells will help you stay alive and kite a little bit longer. If you're ever in range to use Ignite as Senna, you're probably playing her too aggressively and will probably often rack up deaths. As for your runes, you'll be taking Glacial Augment, Magical Footwear, Biscuits, Approach Velocity, Presence of Mind, and Legend Alacrity. These will allow you to stick to the enemies and have sustained damage. Be sure to start off the game with a Spectral Sickle and 2 health potions. Afterwards, look to build a Kraken Slayer, Swiftness Boots, Rage Blade, Rapid Fire Cannon, and then your choice of Immortal Reminder or Lord Dominic's Regard depending on if your team needs anti-heal or tank slaying. And before we continue on with the video, don't think for a second that we forgot about everybody's favorite Pro Guides tradition. For our question of the day, we want to know, what is one champion that you hate to play against? Honestly, I have a long list of these, and if you guys watch these videos all the time, I am very vocal about them. I hate Pyke, I hate LeBlanc, and I hate Yuumi. Honestly, that's just my view, but let me know yours in the comments down below. First up, we've got the queen of the level 16 kingdom, Kayle. Kayle is notoriously known for her ability to 1v9 games when she gets a few items and most importantly, levels. Her passive allows her to quite literally get stronger as she levels up her ultimate and eventually lets her shred down entire teams with only a few autos. To make up for this, she has a fairly weak early game and is forced into melee range. However, once she unlocks her range attack, she's extremely safe to play and can even pick up a few kills. Overall, if you want to visually see and feel yourself get stronger as the game goes on, then Kayle is definitely somebody that you'll enjoy. Diving right into her build, you'll be taking Flash and Teleport as your primary summoner spells. As for your runes, be sure to take Press the Attack, Triumph, Legend Alacrity, Last Stand, Conditioning, and Overgrowth. To help you ease into the laning phase, start out with 2 potions and a Doran's Ring. Afterwards, you'll be looking to rush a Nasus Tooth, Berserker's Grief, Riftmaker, Zhonya's, Rabadon's, and then your choice of a Void Staff or a Lichbane. With these items, you'll slowly grow in strength, and once you hit level 16, the game is as good as over. Well, we did bring up the Queen of the level 16 kingdom, and it's only right that we bring out the king himself, Kassadin. Kassadin is well known to strike fear into the hearts of solo queue players all around the world. His nearly ungankable laning phase and the ability to 1v9 a game from levels alone makes him feel like a ticking time bomb, and we're not talking about Zillion. When you're facing a good Kassadin, you just know that it's going to be a rough game. Overall, if you want a reliable late game carry, Kassadin will never disappoint, unlike me to my parents. I'm just kidding, I think. Plus, he teleports places, and who wouldn't want that? For your summoner spells, be sure to take Flash and Teleport. You can also take Ignite here if you think you can kill your laner with the extra pressure. As for your runes, be sure to take Fleet Footwork, Presence of Mind, Legend Tenacity, Coup de Grace, Taste of Blood, and Ultimate Hunter. Be sure to start the game off with a Dark Seal and a refillable potion so you can always scale as much as possible. Afterwards, you'll be grabbing Illuden's Tempest, Sorcerer's Shoes, Archangel's Staff, Zhonya's, Rabadon's, and a Void Staff. Be sure to pick up an early tier so you can go ahead and stack up your staff as soon as possible. Claiming our next spot on this list, we've got Karthus. While he's not a traditional mid-lane mage anymore, Karthus is an absolute nightmare to face in the jungle. Not only does he have an incredibly fast clear, but he's also able to globally gank lanes with his ultimate. There is nothing worse than trying your best to stall out Karthus from getting fed for him just to get a massive shutdown from base. If you're looking to power farm your jungle and pick fights with an enemy jungler, Karthus might be a great addition to your champion pool. For your summoners, you'll be taking Exhaust and Smite since you're going to be in the jungle. Exhaust is a pretty powerful spell on Karthus as it allows him to contest camps and scuttlebugs versus the enemy jungler. Not only does it protect him from getting bursted, but he's also able to kill the enemy in the process. As for your runes, you'll be taking Dark Harvest, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection, Ravenous Hunter, Presence of Mind, and Last Stand. Since you're fairly strong at dueling with Exhaust, it's only fair to start off the game with a refillable potion and an Ember Knife. Afterwards, be sure to pick up Liandry's, Sorcerer's Shoes, Zhonya's, Rabadon's, Void Staff, and finish off with a Merlonomicon for the anti-heal or Demonic Embrace for more damage. Finally, we got one of the few supports that scales extremely well into the late game, Lulu. Lulu is well known for her ability to keep the hyper carries alive. Whether she's empowering their damage, shielding them, healing them, or just turning the enemy into a little squirrel, she does her job right and she does it well. Lulu's powerful late game is strongly unmatched, and it's not weighed down by the weak early game either. She's a strong lane bully that can often turn the tides of a fight with her damage alone. Overall, if you want the true definition of an enchantress, then you got one with Lulu. As we take a look at Lulu's build, be sure to go ahead and take Flash and Exhaust or either Ignite as your primary summoner spells. If you're looking for more lane pressure and aren't facing many assassins, then Ignite is great. Otherwise, you might be better off with Exhaust, so you can go ahead and save your ADC from that 15 and OZ. As for your runes, you'll be taking Guardian, Fond of Life, Bone Plating, Revitalize, Biscuits, and Cosmic Insight. Be sure to start off the game with 2 potions and a Spell Thief's Edge so you can start getting wards as soon as possible. The rest of your build consists of Shirelia's, Lucidity Boots, Ardent Censer, Chemtech Putrefire, and then finish off with either Mikhail's or Redemption depending on what your team needs. By the way, if you want to join an amazing community of people like you that love lists, talk pieces, and other things like this, go ahead and check out our Discord using the link found in the description. So, what are you waiting for? Join! Nonetheless, let's get back into the video and take a look at the final few late game carries. Pulling us back in, we've got Vayne. This hyper carry ADC is well known for her ability to kite out entire teams and dish out an intense amount of damage. Not only is she extremely fun to play due to her mechanics, but she offers some of the best tank shred in the game. This means that as the game goes on, even tanks don't stand a chance versus you since you deal true damage. Although she does have a pretty weak early game, so be sure to play safe. Overall, if you're tired of tanks ruining your games, then Vayne might be your best answer. Starting off your build, be sure to take Flash and Heal as your summoner spells. As for your runes, you'll be taking Press the Attack, Triumph, Legend Alacrity, Coup de Grace, Taste of Blood, and Ravenous Hunter. Be sure to start off the game with a health potion, either Doran's Blade or Doran's Shield. If you think you're gonna get bullied in lane, just cut your losses and take the shield. As for the rest of your build, you'll be going Kraken Slayer, Berserker's Greed, Phantom Dancer, Rage Blade, Mortal Reminder, or Lord Dominic's, and then finish off with the Guardian Angel. The longer the game goes on, the more damage you'll be doing to tanks and squishies alike, so be sure to play to scale. Next up, we've got Kogmaw. This void monster falls closely behind Vayne in his ability to absolutely shred tanks. The difference being, he can do it from pretty far away and will often delete entire teams in the process. Between his percent HP W and his defense reduction Q, Kogmaw is sure to melt any foe that decides to stand in his way. Of course, being immobile just means that he's fairly easy to get on top of. This just means that you need to keep your position better so you can get your damage output to stay high. Overall, if you want to catch your life away but keep a safe distance and have a useless passive, then Kogmaw might be your new favorite champion. Diving into his build, Kogmaw has a pretty interesting item path. But before we get into that, be sure to take Flash and Heal as your summoner spells. Alongside that, for your runes, you'll be taking Lethal Tempo, Presence of Mind, Legend Alacrity, Coup de Grace, Taste of Blood, and Ravenous Hunter. You'll be starting off the game with a standard health potion and a Doran's Blade. And as for your build, you actually go in quite an interesting order. Start off by building Berserker's Grief, a Wit's End, and a Runin's Hurricane, then into Randuin's Omen, Shield Bow, and then finish off with either a Guardian Angel or a Rage Blade. This will make you extremely difficult to kill while letting you dish out overwhelming amounts of damage. Last but certainly not least, we've got Master Yi. While there's quite a few people that do the boosting strategy between Yi and Taric, he's often strong enough to do it on his own. Also, if you do that strategy, I hate you. People tend to forget that it's extremely easy for you to farm up and carry a game after a few items. That being said, it may be a little bit more difficult to farm up and gank when compared to somebody like Karthus, but the reward is far greater as you get to run at your enemies and cut them down with swift strikes. Overall, if you want to tilt the enemy team while also having some fun, be sure to try out Master Yi. For your summoners, you're going to be taking Flash and Smite. Speaking of Smite, you'll be starting off with a refillable and an Ember Knife for better dueling potential. As for your runes, be sure to take Hail of Blades, Sudden Impact, Eyewall Collection, Ravenous Hunter, Triumph, and Legend Alacrity. Now, since your late game is extremely powerful, you only need a few offensive items. You'll be picking up a Kraken Slayer, defensive boots of your choice, Rage Blade, Wit's End, Starex, and finish off with either a Death's Dance or a Guardian Angel. Before we close our video, we wanted to give a great honorable mention to the one and the only Vladimir. This blood-sucking mage will make you and your allies wish that you had ended the game faster. Not only is he able to sustain through the laning phase extremely well, but he can also pick up a few kills. And an unpopular opinion is that I feel like if you don't have a mana pool, you shouldn't also have health sustain as well, but hey, you know what, that may just be me. Alongside this, he doesn't have to wait all game to be strong. The minute that he has 2 items, he can wipe out your entire team in seconds. While Vladimir is easily punished early game, his powerful scaling makes it so that your jungler has to put all their effort into shutting him down. Overall, if you want to strike fear into ADCs everywhere, Vladimir is a great champion to add to your pool. Taking a look at this build, you'll be taking Flash and Ignite as your summoner spells. If you're a little bit uncomfortable with playing aggressive, feel free to take Teleport until you understand Vladimir a little bit better. As for your runes, you'll be taking Phase Rush, Nimbus Cloak, Transcendence, Gathering Storm, Magical Footwear, and Cosmic Insight. And just like Kassadin, you'll be starting off the game with a refillable potion and a Dark Seal, so you can always start scaling and snowballing ASAP. Afterwards, be sure to build Hextech Proto Belt, Sorcerer's Shoes, Cosmic Drive, Zanya's, Rabadon's, and a Void Staff. Anyway, that sums up our video for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to join our ProGuides family at ProGuides.com. We offer exclusive giveaways and classes that you won't catch anywhere else. So stay tuned and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next video, but until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day. Peace.